a picture. So, and the stereo sound, I've, you know, DMAC and all that groovy digital stuff, I've put it into the hi-fi and everything. In fact, it's more realistic in my flat than it is being here.
We should get you to appear in the ads, I think.
Yes,
yes.
Huge checks, please.
All right. The only ones, of course. That show business doing very well for you at the moment?
Yes, it's very easy. That's how I judge things these days. Not whether they got huge ratings, but whether it's easy. I arrive about 5 minutes before the show and leave during the last link.
And what's it like appearing opposite Gloria Honeyford, who has an immense knowledge of show business, let's face it?
That woman is vicious. She's really serious about winning, you know. She really, I mean, before we go on, it's like, questions are very difficult today, Ken. I'd give up now, she says. She needs to win, that woman. Needs to support the hairdo every day. She has this concrete mixer in, you know, and costs a lot of money. Well, the worst time I've ever had in show business was we were doing, it was the bell ringer sketch with the ump.
Quasimodo.
Quasimodo. We did Quasimodo sketch with Cleo and I, you know Cleo, doing the bell ringing stuff, the bells. And we were supposed to, you know, pull and go up into the ceiling. And that was the joke, you know, the thing. And the camera broke down, so Cleo and I were dangling in amongst these boiling hot lights for about an hour, just slowly turning. She was turning one way, I was turning the other way. And they'd put this horrendous, there was an eye down here, a glass eye. They'd covered up this eye completely with goo and gel, put a plastic eye there, and lumps and warts, and I hate to wear anything but cotton. You know, I'm terribly artistic skin. And they had me in this sackcloth. Oh, it was hell, and we were boiling to death up in this hideous situation. And I came round, and Cleo came round, and I said, "That's it, Cleo, finished." And that's when I decided to give up sketches.
Now, Keith Allen is a comic in a category all to himself, ain't that the truth? He wouldn't even let us call him alternative. First, a clip from his show, I Love Keith Allen, followed by a highly unlikely account of how the show got its name.
Hello again. Lovely to have you back. My name's Paolo Webster, as if you didn't already know, one of BSB's continuity team. Now, looking ahead to some of tomorrow evening's programmes, at 8 o'clock, Film Club will be showing you that classic American hit movie about the 30-something electrician, Sex, Lies and Gaffer Tape. But first, a preview of a documentary made by BSB's documentary flagship team, Fuel the Flames. A barefaced attempt to jump on the green bandwagon, if you ask me.
And he's not just a comedian either, he's a writer and an actor too, and he's here with us now, Keith Allen. Keith, why I Love Keith Allen as a name?
Because when all the production team have to answer the phone, they have to say, I love Keith Allen.
Did you have other possibilities?
Yeah, originally I wanted to call it, I didn't know Keith Allen was white.
Right.
But John Gow thought that was a bit long. And then I wanted to call it I Detest Keith Allen. And he didn't like that. So
I Love Keith Allen came out tops.
Would it be fair to say you find it difficult, Keith, to work within, or have found it difficult to work within the kind of strict conventions of television in the past?
That would be a very fair thing to say. Very fair indeed. Listen, I mean, I've never done television before this. I did Whatever You Want, and that wasn't a studio thing. Do you know what I mean? That was, I mean, you people watching probably won't understand the language I'm talking here, but it was an outside broadcast. When I did Making Out, that was an outside broadcast. So I'd never really done television like this, you know. And I've since discovered why television can't accommodate people like me. And I think the reason is because television has a history of having to meet its deadlines. Do you know what I mean? It's very much run by time and money. And I'm the sort of performer who really works best thinking on my feet.
Impressionist Faith Brown seemed to have difficulty speaking in her own voice when she appeared on 31 West. First, she told us how she begins to learn how to mimic a new character.
What I do is I get audio first. I hate looking at myself. And my best critics are Danny Allen, my husband, because they tell me if it's bad, good, or whether I should be doing it higher or lower, you know? Because I just listen to it first. And then I find, it's very strange, but I find that when I'm sort of doing an impression, it sort of comes. I don't know what it is. about it. Once you do, like like Zsa Zsa Gabor, darling, you know what it is? It suddenly comes, and I don't know what. You could be my toy boy. You know what I mean? Simon, darling, you'd be a wonderful toy boy. Really, it's funny because then everything starts going. The hands start going, the mouth start going, the eyes. So, I don't know whether you've seen it, because she's really up at the top, darling, and she likes to touch everybody. You know what I mean, darling? You do know, don't you, darling? No, but that's exactly what it is.
What about
Sorry.
Mrs. T, Mrs. Thatcher, your trademark? I mean, was that very difficult to do? Because she's changed a lot over the years
She's
as well.
changing all the time. She's still changing. It was wonderful when she came out with the line. She said, a lot of people are under the impression that I'm bossy and domineering. Why not at all? As I said to Neil Kinnock only yesterday, I said to him, Neil! And he did. No, I've got a bit of a throat now, but so it doesn't sound quite like Thatcher now. But that's you know what I mean? And they love all that when I do all that sort of thing.
When you think about it, I mean, being an impressionist is a weird sort of job. How did you fall into it?
Oh, gosh. I must have told this story. Oh, God, I'm going to tell you.
We'll have the abridged version.
Shall I? All right, the small one. That's how I started, you see.
Right,
no,
lovely,
what
thank
happened?
you.
I was on stage, and I'm a singer.